So Zuma's capitalist son has just been made the deputy president of the MK party, while the ANC has dropped down to 18% in Africa's most important city. In this video, I'm going to show you all that's been happening there. And if you stay with me past my biblical reaction, I'm going to also show you the new path to South Africa's prosperity. And it includes you, because South Africa will prosper. You ready? Okay, press like, let's go. Let's start just before the 2024 elections, when Duduzane Zuma started his own party and he was on Biz News with Chris Steyn, and he was asked a very important question.
Now, your father, former President Jacob Zuma, remains a very popular politician in this country, and he is now leading an increasingly popular party called MK. Why did you not join him?
Look, I'm my own man. That's as simple as that. There's a huge misconception out there that whatever he says, whatever he does, automatically attributed to his thoughts, his opinions, and his moments, which is the furthest thing from the truth. As much as there are similarities in thought process and understanding of the situation, there are definitely a whole lot of differences in the way we approach certain problems and conversations, as well as the implementation part. So if you look at fundamentally, and I mean, I've been on a lot of platforms where I've been asked questions that may not be leading questions, but if you look at my thought process and the response that I've given, they're completely different to what people would expect or what people have seen. And that's exactly who I am. I'm my own man. I'm a believer in chartering my own path. I've done so my whole life. I'm a firm believer in startups and starting something new, starting something fresh. I've done that in business. I'm here to do it in politics. We're not taking the easy route, as many people have falsely believed that, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, which is the furthest thing from the truth. So we've started something new, something fresh, at the risk of being alienated by the masses, as people would say. We're speaking our truths. Messaging is very clear. You look at our manifesto, it's completely different to what people would expect. It's not for rebel rousing. It's not for causing, talking points. These are facts. This is the way we see the situation and what the solution should be for the future of this country. So I haven't joined any other political formation purely because I don't feel they are representing of the complete community of South Africa. I feel like society needs something that is inclusive, and all game changers, that's the inclusive political party.
Wow, okay. So what is his philosophy, especially on economic policy?
Now, I know the poor are tired of promises. What words of hope do you have for them, Mr. Zuma?
The general South African, not just the poor people. I'm not here to make any promises. There's only one point that you can hold me accountable for, and that's why I'm in this space. I'm not here to promise anyone jobs. I'm not here to promise anyone whatever's being promised out there by politicians. I'm a business person. I'm in the political space. I don't want to be called a politician because that comes with its own descriptions, but it is what it is. My one point that I'm going to be held to is I'm going to create the opportunity for people to prosper. That's all. And this is what this journey is about. Leveling the playing field and saying to the poorest of the poor, the middle class, wherever it is, opportunities will be there. If you're up for grabbing the opportunities, you will do so. And if you're a lazy bugger, you're going to sit in the background and fall by the wayside, that's your problem. But we're not going to be here. We're not promising handouts. We're not here to put people on welfare, because I don't believe that's the right thing to do. Are people in a desperate state? Yes. Do people need support? Yes. Do the ones who need support, should they be getting support? Yes. That's the old, frail, disabled an individual out there that would not be able to ply their trade or to earn an income. But there are a lot of able-bodied people that are just sitting on street corners waiting to receive. That's not going to happen. We're not here to build a welfare state. We're here to build a state of capable people, of go-getters, of people that are going to build this country brick by brick. Everything else will fall into place from there.
Wow, that doesn't sound like the MK. But just yesterday, President Zuma called a press conference because his spokesperson wanted to thank many party members on behalf of the president of the MK party.
The president thanks him for his contribution to building the organization and wishes him well in his future endeavors. The president hereby also relieves Dr. John Hlophe of his responsibility as first deputy president of the Mkhonto Sizwe party. This is done with immediate effect. However, Dr. John Hlophe will remain as party leader in the National Assembly. He will lead the Mkhonto Sizwe caucus consisting of 58 members. President Zuma extends his sincere gratitude to Dr. Hlophe for his leadership, his dedication and contribution to the growth of MK Party and strengthening its core. The President wishes him well in his continued service for this organization. The President hereby appoints Mr. Duduzane Zuma as the first Deputy President of Mkhonto Sizwe Party. The President confirms that Comrade Tony Ngeni is still the party's second Deputy President. The President hereby appoints Comrade Willis Mkhunu to serve as part of the Presidency Collective. The Presidency Collective plays a role in providing strategic advice, organizational guidance and support on matters requiring presidential oversight and coordination.
Wait, but why is this not being announced by the Secretary General of the MKP, Sibonelo Nomvalo, the one we know from the ad hoc committee? Well, it's because there was a moratorium on the Secretary General, so he was stripped of all of his Secretary General powers. But in the same announcement, now that Duduzane Zuma is the Deputy President,
the Presidency hereby directs also that the SG and the TG shall return to work and resume their full responsibilities. This is done with immediate effect. Accordingly, the moratorium previously imposed on matters relating to the party's finance and secretariat and communications is hereby lifted with immediate effect. All constitutional and administrative functions of these offices will resume without delay. President Zuma further confirms that the presidency shall exercise political oversight, shall see to the organization, including the party's finances, secretariat, and all organizational functions. The President and the Presidency, assisted by DP1 and 2 and Comrade Willis Mkhunu, will see to that these departments and offices run efficiently. The President shall have the necessary authority to provide strategic direction, to ensure accountability, and to see the effective functioning of all structures and departments within the MK party.
oh, so the president of the MK party is switching and shifting and reshuffling. It's almost like a WhatsApp group where you just keep changing admins. The Treasurer General, Secretary General were removed as admins in the WhatsApp group, and then President made his son the Deputy President, gave him an admin, and then brought them back to still do their work, but they no longer have admin rights in the WhatsApp group. Only in the MK. But I suppose Zuma has some kind of strategy. But in other news, the Social Research Foundation and the Common Sense have just released some mind-blowing polling data. And if you can look, right behind me is February 2025, where the ANC was at 32%, DA 25%, MK Party at 12%, EFF at 6%. Around July 2025, around the, while the excitement of the GNU was there, ANC was at 40%, the DA had slightly gone up to 26%, MK was at 18%, EFF 3%. In November of last year, the ANC had dropped down to 37% and the DA had gone up to 32%. And that's because it was that fight concerning VAT. The DA was on the right side, the ANC was on the wrong side of that debate. So it lost a little bit. Now, by March this year, the ANC had bounced back to 39%. The DA had gone down a little bit to 28%, and MK10 EFF 6. Now, July 2026, I think two things are probably impacting on this. Number one, the ANC is on the wrong side of the Madlanga Commission. Number two, the ANC is on the wrong side of Phala Phala. The ANC's dropped down to 34% nationally, while the DA is still hovering around the same 27%. MKP 15, EFF 7%. But here is what is absolutely mind-blowing. Right behind me is the 2021 elections, where the ANC got 34%, the DA 26%. There was no MK yet, so Action SA was on 16% and EFF at 11% in Johannesburg. By March 2026, ANC had gone down to 30% and the DA was up at 39%. Now the MK had come through with 8%, Action SA 10%, EFF 4%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, July polling data, ANC at 18%, the DA 42%, MK13, EFF 8, Action SA 10%. Now this is mind-blowing. Clearly, Gog Helen Zilla's campaign, carrying the profile of the Western Cape province and Cape Town, is obviously working. I think a big reason is because she has been dramatizing the problem and solution as opposed to explaining the problem and solution, which often goes over people's head. But this is really amazing. The crash of the ANC is extraordinary. The rise of the DA is really, really noteworthy. So as we get closer to November, it will be interesting to see what happens with this trajectory. Now, there's an amazing graph on the Common Sense that shows black voters and the ANC, and it goes from rural to township to suburbs. You really want to see that. So go up to this link here if you want to see that graph on the Common Sense website. My biblical reaction. Behold, I'll do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. At times when someone is the incumbent, it looks like there will never come a day that they are not in power, in control, in charge. And what we are seeing with the movements of the ANC, especially in Johannesburg, whoever thought there will come a day when they are polling at 18%? Well, look at this. Don't think there will never come a day that the ANC is polling at 18% nationwide. The ANC free fall, the collapse, the crash seems to be locked in. I don't see it ever turning around. What you and I should be concerned with is, where do we land in the end? The people who are leaving the ANC, how do they vote going forward? Do they vote for prosperity, like we were hearing from Mr. Zuma Jr., or do they still vote for the same that has crashed the country? And so on the 1st of September, we are moving into a new season. It's Spring Day. But as the country is moving into a new season, I want to give you an opportunity to put South Africa on the path to prosperity without changing your daily routine. And this is not going to be by arguing, by organizing a rally. And I'm inviting you and the next 999 after that to come and discover a powerful new way that will grow into a political tsunami by 2029. And no, it's not a political party. It's not any kind of political formation, but I invite you to join as the first 1,000. If you click the link up here, it'll take you to this page and you can go right ahead and join as the first 1,000. And once you join and you go in, like I'm going in right now, you'll get your registration confirmed. You'll get an email. Diarize the 1st of September so that you are part of putting South Africa on a path to prosperity. We're not going to ask you to sacrifice your life and join a party or a movement or start marching or start walking in the street or screaming or arguing on social media. No. It's actually the most amazing, powerful mechanism that you will just apply in your normal life. You're really going to enjoy this. It's going to be mind-blowing. So once you get here, you'll diarize it, check your email, and we'll send you the Zoom link closer to the time. So if you want to be part of this exclusive online event, then come through. There are always a couple of things you can do in life, is just keep doing what you're doing and hope for different results. Apparently that's called insanity. Or you do nothing, well then, take whatever comes. Or sometimes you have an opportunity like this one to put South Africa on a path of prosperity with just normal, easy, daily life sort of stuff that you'll just get to remember every now and then. But it's enough to get the country on a path of prosperity. So it's up to you. If you're happy with where things are, that's fine. But if you think, oh man, I need to find this out, then click that link up there and I'll see you when the new season starts, which is Spring Day. Well, we'll do this and you will realize that we're actually celebrating and revealing a unique mechanism for a new season, a political season in 2029. So I'll see you on the other side if you coming through. So no man can serve two masters. Either love the one or hate the other, or you'll despise the one and honor the other. You can't serve God and Karl Marx. Well, at Put South Africa on the path to prosperity, you're going to realize what the right way to prosperity is and what you can do to get us there. So let's go. Let's make history together. All right. Cheers.